The blizzard erased the world in less than an hour. One moment the trail was visible beneath a pale winter sun, and the next it vanished under roaring white wind, swallowing sound, direction, and hope. The veteran realized too late that turning back was no longer possible. Snow struck his face like gravel, his breath burned in his chest, and the only thing still moving with purpose beside him was his dog, pushing forward as if guided by something unseen. That was the moment survival stopped being a plan and became a prayer. If you believe that silent heroes deserve second chances, and that even the most forgotten souls can still find mercy in impossible moments, take a moment right now to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Stories like this exist because hope sometimes hides where no one thinks to look. His name was Daniel Mercer, a Christian veteran who had returned to the United States years earlier carrying the quiet weight of war. He lived alone near the Rockies, working seasonal jobs, choosing isolation over crowds because silence hurt less than noise. His dog, a thick-coated mixed shepherd named Ash, had been his constant companion since the worst year of his life. Ash was not trained for rescue, not special by record, but loyal in a way that kept Daniel anchored when memories tried to pull him under. The hike was supposed to be simple. A short winter trail, familiar terrain, enough daylight to return before nightfall. Daniel had checked the forecast, but the mountains did not care about forecasts. The storm descended fast and violent, turning ridges into traps and trails into lies. When the wind knocked him to one knee and Ash refused to move backward, Daniel knew the mountain had taken control. The cold crept in quietly at first. Fingers stiffened, thoughts slowed. Fear did not arrive as panic, but as exhaustion. Daniel followed Ash because there was nothing else to follow. Visibility shrank to arm's length. Snow buried landmarks, erased memory, and turned every direction into the same endless white corridor. Then Ash stopped. Through the screaming wind and swirling snow, a shape emerged. Dark stone against white chaos. A hut half buried, its roof low and rounded, built from stacked rock older than the trees around it. Daniel almost collapsed when he reached the door. It took the last of his strength to force it open. Inside, the world changed. The hut was small but solid, the stone walls thick and dry. Snow did not reach the interior. The air was still, cold but survivable. Daniel collapsed against a wall while Ash shook snow from his coat and immediately moved deeper inside, alert, focused, searching. That was when Daniel noticed it. This place was not abandoned. There were signs of careful order, old but intact supplies, blankets folded, a fire pit cleaned and ready, a wooden cross carved into the stone wall. Someone had built this hut with intention, and someone had cared for it long after it was forgotten by maps. As the storm raged outside, Daniel lit a fire using storewood that was impossibly dry. Warmth returned slowly. Pain set in, the circulation came back, but life followed with it. The hut had saved them. That much was undeniable. What Daniel found next shook him deeper than the storm ever could. Beneath a loose stone near the fire pit was a metal box. Inside were journals wrapped in oilcloth, preserved against time and weather. The handwriting was neat, careful, filled with scripture, dates, and names. The journals belonged to a man named Elijah Boone, a medic during World War II, who had deserted not out of fear but conscience. According to the entries, Elijah had built the hut as a sanctuary after refusing to return to a war he believed had lost its moral direction. Elijah had lived there through winters harsher than this one, treating injured travelers, runaway soldiers, and lost hunters. He wrote prayers for each life that passed through. He recorded deaths and births. He confessed his doubts, his faith, his loneliness. And then, one final entry, written shakily, thanking God for allowing him to save more lives than he ever took. Elijah Boone had died in that hut, alone but unafraid. As Daniel read by firelight, something inside him broke open. He had spent years believing survival was a burden, that coming home when others did not was something to feel guilty about. Reading Elijah's words reframed everything. Survival was not shame. It was responsibility. The storm lasted 2 days. When the wind finally calmed and rescue teams found Daniel and Ash, the story spread quickly. A veteran saved by a forgotten stone hut. A dog who refused to turn back. A hidden history beneath the snow. The journals were verified. Historians confirmed Elijah Boone's existence. Families of people he had saved came forward with stories passed down through generations. The hut became protected land. Daniel did not seek attention, but he accepted purpose. He stayed on to help restore the site, turning it into a refuge for hikers and a memorial to quiet courage. He spoke at schools not about war, but about mercy, about choosing life even when the world expects you to disappear. Ash grew older there, watching over the hut like it was always meant to be his. Daniel healed slowly, honestly, with faith that no longer felt fragile. Just before the ending, take a moment to comment below and tell us what this story made you feel. Your words might reach someone standing in their own storm. Some places are built to save lives long after their builders are gone. And sometimes, getting lost is the only way to find what you were meant to carry forward.